Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. So with that being said, let's just dive on in and let's start off with this tweet here from Luciano_Bitcoin, who is a Bitcoin maxi, but they also have 2.2 million followers. This is also a post that basically went viral, almost 500,000 views, and so much support as well from the XRP community, by the way. But here we have a few things. Been observing Ripple's operations since the SEC win in July. I can't help but applaud the team for staying focused in their commitment to the XRP community. Few projects recover from such a drawn-out legal battle that cost them $200 million, but we've seen the Ripple team announcing several impactful partnerships and integrations, including an increased use of Ripple payments with Bitstamp and Bitso as payment corridors. And you know what? I have to admit, right? Like, if you take any other project from this space and you throw it into a $200 million lawsuit, tell me how many of those projects would actually be able to survive? The answer is probably shocking to most, but I would argue that maybe 1 out of 10 will survive. I mean, it really is something to think about. But also, in 2 weeks, we have seen a 22% bounce from its August dip, and the reasons are not far-fetched. Their partnership with Uphold brings more liquidity to the Ripple ecosystem, and that's just one growth catalyst for XRP's price growth. Which, by the way, I have to admit, ever since the Uphold partnership, and with them announcing that they would have to buy XRP on the open market, we've started to see XRP gaining some traction again. I personally think that the open market demand for XRP is going to significantly increase in time. And if we're starting to see some price movement from that, which I wouldn't be surprised if we are, then things could get very interesting very fast. Ripple has begun expanding XRP's utilities on the XRP ledger. With plans to accommodate trading of NFTs, they could be dipping their hands into the $1.6 billion cookie jar. And with more developments and projects like the Sum Wallet steadily pouring into the XRP ledger and gaining upwards of 600,000 users in 3 months, XRP will grow massively. If I'm being honest, I'd say that the XRP price isn't as far from $1 or $10 as we think, looking at the current ecosystem developments. And listen, as we really kind of look at price predictions, price targets, and things like that, I recently talked about XRP. I recently talked about the $5 price target for XRP. This is not the price I think that XRP is going to go to, but it is a safe bet, right? Like, you got to remember, I have to be conservative here with a few things on what I say, how I say it, and also really kind of addressing the overall movements in the market. Because again, I'm not going to say that, a certain price is going to happen because we don't know, right? I'm going off of $5 because of technicals, and it's not even just $5. It's like $5 and like 50 some cents. But if we see a full outreach, we could see upwards of $10 to possibly $15 for XRP. But a lot of people think that XRP can't do this, and it's crazy to me on how people think that that is impossible for XRP, which is one of the largest cryptocurrency tokens in the space. Outside of this, though, I have to admit, I have been reading into a few things. Alex Cobb recently put out a tweet saying we were dominating Ethereum before they started colluding with the SEC against us. And here we have XRP and Ethereum. We could actually see the prices here. We could see the market cap. Now, as we really kind of look at what's happening here, right? I've talked about how XRP has retained a dominant force in the market forever, right? Like, since its inception, it has become a dominant force to be reckoned with. But going back to 2017, 2018, and then after, right, we have seen things change a little bit. And we actually see Steven Narioff saying a little bit about how, unfortunately, Ripple wasn't dominating Ethereum. Joseph and Vitalik Buterin at co-opting the government and selling us all out. I will rectify that I have my own score to settle. legally. And what he's saying here is, well, with Ethereum, it's kind of hard not to be the number 2 largest token in the space when you are working with the government and you are possibly doing backdoor deals, which we know is proven through Ethereum Gate. Like, listen, we've done the research. But again, this could be a good thing because we see, fortunately, Brad Garlinghouse and team didn't take their eye off the ball, and they continue to dominate where it matters most in the market. And their market is bigger than Ethereum. Why do you think the government, financial institutions, competitors, the media all illegally attack them? They know the size of the prize. First and foremost, I have to say, wow. Because listen, at the end of the day, we all know the true impact that Ripple and XRP makes in the traditional financial world. But beyond that, right? What I find very, very interesting about this tweet is, do you guys remember what I was talking about with Ethereum? You guys remember the market cap that Ethereum hit back in the last run? Do you know what the price of XRP would be if we seen or even had that market cap today? We're talking about a $600 billion market cap, mind you. XRP would be trading at around $10. And this is also why I say, like, as we see people calling for a $10,000 Ethereum, it's kind of crazy not to think about XRP here. That's why I never understood how people will say, like, oh, XRP can't hit $10. It's insane. They look at the supply, but they fail to realize that the market cap would be the same as Ethereum's. So outside of this, yeah, I do believe that Ripple has been dominating as of lately. They've always have, but you know, the recent expansions that we have seen are very beneficial for not just Ripple as a company, but also XRP as a token. We see here from Flip the Chain, Uphold and Ripple partnership, well done. However, the long-standing partnership between Tranglo and Ripple also needs a big applause. Tranglo is helping with the adoption of RippleNet and on-demand liquidity and has been recently very active in the MENA and Asia Pacific region. Here we have from September 18th of this year. Since 2008, the company has enjoyed a 20% year-over-year increase in partnerships. Thanks to close collaborations with Ripple and many others along the years, we're global. This is a big one. I've talked about Tranglo many times in the past. And even down here we have from Tranglo, Ripple, the leader in enterprise blockchain and crypto solutions, has partnered with the global Web3 financial platform, Uphold. Uphold CEO said enterprises can use Uphold's platform to make efficient crypto to fiat transfers and bank payouts. And listen, all of these partnerships, Uphold, we've talked about it, domino effect. I think there was like 26 exchange markets. I mean, you got to understand how big of a network Ripple has grown into in the past decade alone. I mean, listen, this has become a monster in the room of traditional finance, and I don't think people realize that. And XRP is exposed through all of this. And I also seen a video recently posted by Crypto Eddie, where you see stablecoins are exporting dollars around the world. I don't think we want to see a world in which every country's economy is ultimately dollarized. This is from the policy director, EMEA at Ripple, Andrew Whitworth. What do you see? Where's the tipping point? Some clips from an incredibly interesting discussion from the future of CBDCs and digital money. Upload it on October 12th. Check this out.
So I'm Andrew Whitworth. I'm policy director for EMEA for Ripple. Ripple is a B2B blockchain tech service company. We work mainly in the cross-border payment space, do a lot of work both with private and public forms of digital money. I'm also the chair of the Blockchain for Europe Association based in Brussels. So we have a lot of these similar conversations in the European context as well. Ultimately, I see, certainly Ripple, my company, sees that in the future there will be a mix of different types of money, physical, digital, private, and public. And really what matters is that the firms in this space work together to create a space where consumers or end users, whatever they may be, understand what they're getting and know how to move between this in a coherent way. Ripple does quite a lot of work with central banks around the world to help them figure out what they want to do with a CBDC, do some pilot projects, help them understand the technology. For a lot of these central banks, and these tend to be in emerging economies, it is about financial inclusion. Like we have one famous pilot with Palau, this is not a plug, but they've got many islands, and until very recently, they had to physically ship in ships cash to each island. Now that's difficult, dangerous, expensive, inefficient. So they're very interested in developing some kind of CBDC, or in their case, because they're dollarized, sort of stablecoin solution. So you can see that there are benefits. Now, maybe these aren't all the same benefits in each country. So again, it goes back to the point of, well, what do you want it for? What do you need it for? But I think there are public policy benefits.
People in what are notionally non-dollar countries are saving dollars, and stablecoins are 99.5% denominated in dollars, and they're really helping to export dollars around the world and removing some of the monetary policy choices from jurisdictions. And some may be too far gone, and I agree, if you live in a country with a rapidly devaluing currency, of course you want to hold a more stable currency, and that should be your right. But where's the tipping point? If we give everybody access to always on dollars all the time, and we don't give them any kind of alternative that's useful, does the world just run on the dollar?
I don't know if we want to see a world in which every country's economy is ultimately dollarized. I don't say that because I have any problem with the United States, not at all. But I think if we think that individual states of individual nations have the duty and right to do what they think is best for the needs of their citizens, well, independent monetary policy is a pretty large plank of that. It's up to individual countries whether they want to exercise that or not. But I think it is right that there should be some framework that should allow them to manage this in the way they think is best. Now, that framework could be regulation on stablecoins, it could be on limitations of foreign stablecoins, it could be on creating a CBDC. Probably some mix of all of these, right? But I think it is perfectly correct for states to have this kind of role in managing the development and the flows of this kind of potentially extra sovereign form of money in their own economy.
And I think that this is a great discussion. Listen, the tipping point, we're already at it, right? Like we are at the major tipping point in the global economic environment, because listen, the dollar has been massively printed into oblivion. De-dollarization is happening. We're starting to see nations fed up with utilizing payment networks and networks like SWIFT, for an example, that are underpinned by the US dollar. The US has utilized the US dollar as a financial weapon for far too long. And again, going back to the original viewpoint of this video, right, like the original tweet that I utilized, we have been seeing Ripple expanding rapidly. And the reason why I personally believe that Ripple is a key player in this new world of finance that is essentially being created before our eyes is because they have been networking forever. They have been talking and teaching the ways of bridging different currencies. See, the thing about this de-dollarization move is this is just one step of the big plan. The big plan is a decentralized global financial system where there is no reserve currency. Remember what I've said about instant settlement. You solve instant settlement and there's no need to actually hold a reserve currency. There's no need for a reserve currency. And again, like having a decentralized bridge currency as well, like XRP, is truly something revolutionary. Like a lot of people undermine how big of an opportunity it is to have a decentralized currency like XRP, because SWIFT, which is a global network, 11,000 banks tapped in, they tried doing this. They tried to make a bridge currency just like XRP, but it was centralized and nobody wanted to utilize it. This is the same exact thing that I say with like JPM coin. Like everyone is always so terrified. Oh, but what if Bank of America makes their own coin? Or, what if the Fed makes their own coin? It doesn't matter, because JPM making their coin, which they already have, JPM coin, right? Them making their own coin, Bank of America is not going to utilize that. All right. The Fed making a CBDC, a US digital currency. Say for so, even if it's a US CBDC, right? Who's going to use that? Is China going to utilize a US CBDC? No. And again, like that's a great example too, because like, you have a US system. In the United States, essentially the financial system is open, right? In China, it's more so closed loop, right? It's, limited access. How are you going to settle with that currency? How are you going to settle any of this? You have stablecoins, you have CBDCs, you have this, you have that. A decentralized bridge currency. And you know what's funny? Right? Like, as we actually look at what's going on here, there's a great discussion here. There's a great discussion here with James Wallace, who's the head of CBDC product. This is from XRP Drops. He's quoting Chad Steingraber here. First and foremost, asset to asset. In the future, when everything is tokenized, there is no more cross-border. There is only asset to asset. And this is where things get very interesting, right? Like, when we look at asset to asset, it's a huge step. It's a huge step. Listen closely to what James Wallace has to say here.
Ask the question, what's the most exciting thing about CBDCs and stablecoins?
And I really do hope that YouTube doesn't mute this. I do apologize for interrupting the video, but YouTube has been notorious around muting videos, so I do apologize.
One word, innovation. My name is James Wallace, and I head up CBDC at Ripple. You might already know that over 90% of central banks around the world are now exploring CBDCs. There are many drivers for CBDC, including the decline of cash, improving payments efficiency, lowering costs, and the desire to innovate the ways in which money is used. Ripple's CBDC platform is your one-stop shop for the creation of digital currency, designed for minting, managing, transacting, and redeeming CBDCs and stablecoins. Here's how it works. First, standard APIs enable seamless integration of the CBDC platform into a central bank's existing systems. This allows the bank to leverage their current infrastructure. Central banks can then mint their CBDC on a private version of the XRP ledger that they control. Digital currencies can then be distributed directly to authorized accounts, either through commercial banks or directly to consumer wallets. Transactions run on a private ledger and are settled in seconds, and this is all done in a regulated and secure environment. The Ripple CBDC platform also permits the secure destruction of currency, giving the bank full control over monetary supply. The results? Lower costs, faster transactions, greater financial inclusion for all, and all done with a minimal carbon footprint. So explore this with us today. We'll work together to build a custom pilot and future-proof your financial infrastructure.
And remember what I've always said, right? Like, everyone is so stuck on the CBDC platform utilizing private XRP ledger technology that they completely forget the fact that there's only one ledger. There really is. Like, when we look at the actual ledger, there could be a private, there could be public. It doesn't really matter. The end idea here, I shouldn't say there's only one ledger. There's only one XRP. So if you have a private and public XRP ledger, or it's based on the XRP ledger technology, what's going to be the decentralized bridge currency? First and foremost, liquidity matters here. Making XRP the most liquid asset, whether that be through AMMs or even tapping in with Uphold, for example, to increase liquidity, all of that is crucial, because if you have XRP being the most liquid asset, that means XRP is the chosen one in terms of tapping into a decentralized bridge currency that could boast or on-demand liquidity and instant settlement and this, that, whatever. Like, that is the secret sauce, right? The secret sauce could be summed up in just liquidity, right? Like, liquidity provisions are a big deal with XRP because everyone always thinks like, oh, well, XRP is just extremely liquid. What makes it XRP extremely liquid is, at the end of the day, the price of it, but also actual liquidity, being able to move things that are, say for so, $1 billion, $1 trillion utilizing XRP. But in order to do that, which I've just recently made a video actually on with high volume, high value payments, is having proper liquidity. XRP right now, everyone thinks is the most liquid asset. It's not there yet. But what's very exciting about it is that we are starting to see liquidity increasing. We're starting to see the overall XRP marketplace outside of retail also increasing through Tranglo, through Uphold, through a lot of these major partnerships. all of this is very beneficial to the overall goal here, which is, yes, at the end of the day, the global structure of the financial system is realigned. It's getting realigned right now. And a decentralized bridge currency, maybe even two of them, right? We've talked about XLM, XRP, is crucial. It's 100% crucial. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on because I'm more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Peace out.